Welcome to the Gump Report. You never know what you're going to get. Before I get started on this rant, because now this is the third time I was about to do and I screwed up a couple of times. I don't need to hide that I screw up. I know other podcasters would say nothing about this. I want to say this before I get to the part I really want to talk about and then to the rant. I want to say this for anyone who's seen my videos and then is considering doing what I'm doing. You're going to screw up. You're going to get frustrated. And you're going to learn a lot about video production. I mean, in other words, learning how to use editing software. And just don't be too hard on yourself. Unfortunately, with depression and anxiety, I always am. But remember this. I do this not just because I'm pretty honest about myself. And not because I'm fully confident. I'm just as scared as anybody else. But I thought I'd say it anyway. That made no sense, but I did it anyway because, as you know in the Gump Report, you never know what you're going to get. Now, let's say this. I am going to probably release this Monday or Tuesday, this Gump Report. I think it's episode, 59? Oh my goodness, I did 59 episodes of this thing. I don't even know. I think I've done now 59 episodes, but this will really, I think the reason I botch is because I have a Booking the Wrestler AEW edition recorded already, and it'll probably be released somewhere, maybe in the middle of the week, maybe Wednesday. This will probably be released Monday, and that one will be released maybe Wednesday. Hopefully you'll like it. I may also do another Booking the Wrestler AEW edition for Luchasaurus, because the one you're going to see will be about Hiro Kushida and Selena Deeps. I decided because of how the booking was for Hiro, I couldn't take it. It pissed me off. So I'm now done a booking for her, along with a little bit of Selena Deeps, but it is a booking about her. So it's going to probably be released in the middle of the week. And then I may just do a booking on Luchasaurus. I'm considering it. If you want me to do a Luchasaurus booking, leave a comment below. Because I am considering what should be done with Luchasaurus. Because when you see him on Rampage or Dynamite, people are going crazy over him. They're not doing anything. They just got him paired up with Jungle Boy. So I will probably be doing one of that. So, now that I got that out of the way, let's get on to this fucking rant. We just found out Thursday, because this is being done Saturday, just before Turning Point, because I am doing my Turning Point review. If I can watch it, I am going to review it. And I'm kind of reluctant to do my... I am frustrated about Survivor Series. I don't know if I want to do it, but I probably am going to do it. By the time you see this, you already know if I'm going to do it or not. I am probably going to do it, but I'm going to say it now on this. It's frustrating to watch the product now. And because it's been so frustrating watching the product in a very small amounts, understand, only time when I watch the product is when I go and check out JD and Just Alex, or Solomonster for that matter, if they mention something, or maybe one of my subscribers, if they've seen a little bit of Raw, heard something, they put it in my comments in one of my videos, and maybe I might take a look at it. It's very rare for that, but when it came to JD and Just Alex or Solomonster, that's when I'll take a look. But now, on Thursday, just well before Impact, you got 8 more people released. Now, I know there are people saying, dude, this is what they get. This is what they get for staying in the company. This is what they get. They deserve it. Fine, I understand your point of view. I understand. I'm not telling you shut the fuck up about it. I'm not. Because in many cases, you are right. There are some there that knew, like Selena Vega, even though, like I said in my video in a Gump Report, that she might be going back because of her father. In fact, she went back because of her husband. She wanted to be with him. What did she get for her troubles? She originally, understand, making this very clear, full circle for her. She was with the company. Her dream job. From the time she was with her father until he died at the World Trade Center, I believe number 2. She's loved wrestling. She went into wrestling. She became a wrestler. She met her husband in wrestling. Mind you, she met him there. She fell in love with him. She married the man. And she got fired from the place because she didn't agree with the new policies that the WWE had due to the fact that the guaranteed contract they have is not enough for them. And with the frustration of being stuck at home or getting sick or seeing friends get sick from the company, she said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you my Twitch. And she was royally fired. Then decided, I can't stand being away from the job because I love it. I miss my husband. I'll resign. And then within a few days after she resigns, her husband is released. This is what she got. I said, and I'm not angry at her. I had the feeling she was going back because she loved somebody. I thought it was her father. In this case, it was her husband. I'm not exempting her. She should have understood how bad the company was. But she wanted to go back because of her husband. And let's not be lying, this was also a factor. I'm sure that it was strong. The money was strong with that one. But this is what we get right now. The WWE, the way they're treating their fans from 2020 into 2021. Do you know how many people have been released from the company? It's not 10, it's not 20, it's not 30, it's not 50, it's almost 200 people. Let me repeat this, and I know a lot of people are going to say, who gives a fuck? Listen to me. Listen. 200 people almost has been released. And it's not done yet. There are still more people that are probably scheduled to be released before Christmas, before Thanksgiving, possibly. Now, I'm not saying they will be released on Thanksgiving because that's next week, Thursday. But you never know with Vince. Vince makes the decision, they get released. 8 people have been released. The group in Hit Row has been released. John Morrison has been released. I don't remember who else, but there's like a few more people, but they've been released. And you would think, with the amount of people they have in the company where they were just sitting in the back, I can understand those have never been optioned from NXT to even be on TV. They just have done nothing. Release them. John Morrison was heavily featured on television. Heavily. With The Miz. And I'm not even saying that was great work either. Johnny Drip Drip, stupid. I will say that at least they were trying to be creative when it came to the music videos. Hey, hey, ho, ho. I'm not even saying that's good. I'm just saying that at least they were trying to be creative. And that's The Miz and Morrison. One of them must have came up with the idea because I doubt Vince would. And I'm not saying that was good. I'm just saying at least they were trying creatively to try. But he was heavily featured. It's one of the staples they had on Raw or SmackDown. I think it was SmackDown. Then he went to Raw, and I think he went back to SmackDown, and now he's gone. Understand, guys. And I want to make this clear to anyone, because I know there are some of my subscribers say, well, this is what they get. Listen to me. Listen. You're going to talk about, and this is for the fans, the people who are watching me, my humble little me. I'm a nobody. Compared to most YouTubers, I'm a nobody. But many of you look at me, watch me, and either I encourage you to try something or you just like the content. Listen to me. I know many of you are going to say, who gives a damn? Please don't go in AEW. Who gives a damn? Please don't go to Impact Wrestling. Or, I care. Go to AEW. I care. Please. And many of the subscribers I have here, or people who comment, also heavily talks about Impact Wrestling. You guys don't get it. Right now, as it stands, for most of the people that was released from April until November, they've been able to start getting work because they had to wait 3 months and counting on if they have 8. Remember, there are 2 types of contracts that WWE gave most of those people. You got the NXT contract and the standard roster WWE contract. Because there are 2 different ones. You got one that allows you to work after 30 days. That's NXT. And then you have another one that is from the main roster that if you get fired from there or released, you got to wait 3 months before you can start working. And that's depending, and in both contracts, that depends on several things like Bronson Reed, who was part of NXT. His contract was tied into his visa. Understand this. His contract was tied to his visa. He gave up everything from Australia to come to America. And then with his visa tied to WWE, when they released him, he had to go back home. He lost everything here. To go back, to get a new visa, to come back into the country, which he's now in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and maybe may start working either in Impact Wrestling, because he did face down moves at a New Japan Pro Wrestling show, or AEW, or MLW. In fact, I am going to say this because one of my subscribers has now more than once has said, hey, take a look at NLW. I will say this at the end of this. What I thought about briefly just before making this video, I did check out MLW briefly. And I will talk about this after this. But he have to wait until everything cleared back in his own country, getting a new visa to come back into this country. So anyone that says, oh, don't worry, they're going to be fine. Don't worry, they'll be all right. It counts if they're from another country. If they're from this country, next to them, if they even had enough money to live off of. Because remember, guys, you got wrestlers who go paycheck to paycheck. Remember, we're talking about NXT wrestlers, not just the roster wrestlers. We got NXT wrestlers who have been released that had a 30-day notice, yes, but they're not like they got a huge amount of money. Many of them might just started working and they've been released. So there's no guarantee they even have any money saved up enough to do anything. So you better hope and pray to those people, pray for those people that they actually have enough money to live off of until either they can get work. And that's not guaranteeing they'll get wrestling work because many people from NXT are brand new. Not all of them have been in the indies for years. Some of them just starting out fresh as brand new wrestlers. They may have to get other jobs other than wrestling. Think about that for a minute. Think carefully before you type. Think. Because there's some people who have worked for decades in the wrestling business, and then there's some at the Performance Center that are brand spanking new, have only just worked, like the people from Hit Row, except for maybe one, that they have not worked in the business that long, maybe a year. And what happens if they can't get work? Remember, OH just dumped nearly 100 people. Let me repeat that again. OH dumped nearly 100 people into the wrestling pool. 100 people. On top of the people who already been released by WWE, which from 2020 to 21 has been almost 200 people. Because as far as I know, there might be between 170 to maybe 180 people from 2020 to 2021. Because anybody says, oh, don't worry, it's going to be great. They're going to be working. Really? What did I tell you on one of my last Gump Report videos? Where these people may not be working constantly. They will be on a taping basis from most of these promotions. Like Impact Wrestling, like AEW, like MLW, like GCW, maybe New Japan Pro Wrestling. NWA, they'll just bring them in. Look, Lady Frost was working at NWA. She did a couple of times over Impact Wrestling. They signed her ass. Guess what? She had no fucking contract. Let me say that again. Lady Frost didn't have a damn contract. She was coming in by tapings and getting paid when she did the damn tapings. So what does that tell you? Think. I want to hear you tell me how you feel about these people where you hear so many wrestling podcasters saying, oh, they're going to be great. They're going to be fine. I'm one of the few ones who really knows how the business works. I can't believe JD, who has way more subscribers than me, will not say, hey, these people will be coming over to Hog, which is House of Glory. Hopefully we might be able to actually sign some of them, but they'll probably have to do some tapings with us because we may not have the room for them or we don't know if they're a good fit for us. He should be saying that because he knows the business 10 times better than me, and he should know if they're doing video tapings, counting if Hog does, because as far as I know, they do record. They may only go by taping basis or show by show basis, and they pay these people to come in. So I'm one of the few who understands the companies and actually is willing to state it. And for you guys who are fans like myself, who only see what they want to see, with no disrespect, it's what we want to see. We want to see our favorite wrestlers. We want to see Jay Lethal Impact Wrestling. We want to see who? Davey Richards. I just saw on MLW, and this is like in September. I saw one of the first ones of MLW Fusion Alpha. I don't know why they call it that stupid name. Fusion Alpha? Whether it's a miniseries or not, that's a stupid name to call it. But that was in September of this year. I just saw a small part of it. I decided to skip to the end when I saw that Davey Richard was going to be wrestling TJP. So I jumped ahead. I skipped some of the information that was there. But the point is, these wrestlers are not guaranteed contracts. These wrestlers are not guaranteed to be paid when they come if they make a request for a booking. When these wrestlers make a request for a booking at a promotion, whether they're a minor or major, those promotions will say, okay, come over. Maybe we'll have room for you and we'll pay you. If they come, if there's room, if they're recording, they say, okay, we're going to record this not only in front of people, we're going to let you do this. We'll pay you maybe a couple of $100 or a couple of $1,000, depending on what they're willing to pay them. They do the show. They do the recording. If they record, they're done until they're called back. So these people are no guarantee of having constant work. And guess what? In the last couple of months, I'm sure some of them got work. Malachi Black got work. Great. Andrade Ilios got work. Great. Bobby Fish, who got released a while ago, got some work. Wonderful. He's working now. And what about the rest that are not? Hit Row and John Morrison. John Morrison has to wait 3 months now. 3. Taya got released maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she'll be able to go back to work in about 3 weeks. Sorry. Taya Valkyrie was on NXT. So her contract was only allowing her to be unable to work for 30 days. So she's going to be clear already, or will be about to be cleared, and she can go to work anytime during the last bit of November or December or January. I don't know where she's going to work, but she can go work. Her man, John Morrison, cannot. November, December, January, maybe near the end of January going into February is when he can have any work. Now, mind you, he's got money. Doesn't have a problem. Many of the others, like from NXT, they only just started working. They don't got the money. They don't have like $500, $600, $700,000 probably saved up. Some of them maybe was only given maybe $50,000 a year, $40,000, counting on whatever contract they signed. Because the top tier ones maybe got $100,000, the top tier. And ones under that may not even have more than $20,000, $30,000 a year. Remember, WWE is not paying new wrestlers big money. They're not. And if you think they'll be perfectly safe, no guarantee they will. And now Thanksgiving is only about a week away. Christmas is about a month away. And counting if they can get work anywhere, because it's going to be a question, can they get work? Yes. MLW's obviously an option. Impact, yes. NWA, yes. AEW, yes. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Look at Bronson Reed. He's now working as, Noah? I believe his name is Noah. I can't remember his name. He's now working with New Japan Pro Wrestling at this moment, where he could jump to Impact Wrestling or AEW. I don't know. They could go to any one of those promotions. But the question is, will they sign them? Or, best case scenario, will they come in to go at arenas, live events? Or if they're really lucky, be taped to get evaluated to see if they're worth their effort of signing them, if they can sign them. This pisses me off, how bad WWE is. Now, mind you, this shows how bad WWE was. Almost 200 people from last year and this year's coming up to amount nearly 200 people. Not nearly 80 or 90 right now. Talking about last year in the pandemic to now, who got released. Nearly 200 wrestlers. Not even talking about people in production, executive positions, makeup. I don't know how many is that. There could be another 50 Who knows? We are talking about nearly 200 regular wrestlers from WWE, whether they were working NXT, just starting out, not having any experience, and now they're thrown out in the street, and they're probably not going to get signed to any promotion. They'll probably be on tapings or maybe live events, just like a regular show, or mainstay wrestlers who, if they're lucky, have saved enough to last them to get away, or one in the main roster, like a John Morrison, which he probably more than has enough money to wait 3 months before he can go back to work with his wife. No problem with that. But still, it shows how bad WWE is. Not just because they hoarded all the talent they had, but the key of this is what's going on now. From the beginning of the pandemic, Vince took total advantage of this. Vince was already making money from USA. He wasn't making a huge amount from the WWE network, but he was making some money. Once the Saudi deal came in, he started making good money. Once Fox came in, started making good money. And then the pandemic hit, which they had to stop. And he realized, and this is Vince, along with Nick Khan, the president of WWE, the CEO, the owner is still Vince, but the president who works with the shareholders, because here's Vince, here's Nick Khan, here are the shareholders. He probably told Vince, hey, let's start trimming the fat. And Vince says, how much fat you want to clear? Let's start getting rid of people you don't need. And the minute they did that, they saw their profits, which were here, after everything. And they said, oh, shit. Are you telling me we can make more money than what we've been making? We were only making like this, and that's when we were stationary. Are you telling me we could make more money from here? And Nick Khan said, yep. He said, let's get rid of more. And they said, hey, we just found out the guys and girls are using the names on Twitch. Vince is saying, what the hell is Twitch? It's a place on the internet where they can play video games, but they're using their actual names. Vince says, tell them to stop using their names. Fine. They're ordered to stop using names. And then Nick Khan or anyone else said, hey, Vince, do you know these guys are making big money on Cameo and Twitch? What the hell is Cameo? Where they have the chance to say something someone wants and they make some money. Oh, shit, they're making that much money? Tell them to stop. And Cameo got stopped. Twitch, they were ordered to stop until someone said, hey, Vince, maybe you shouldn't tell them to stop. He said, what the hell are you talking about? They're making money that I'm not getting any access to. They have no right to it. He said, yeah, but if you let them do it, we can take that money from them. They are contracted to us. And Vince said, in his old ass voice, I love money. Tell them they can do Twitch, but then they're going to have to pay us. And that is when Zelina Vega said, fuck you, no, to a guy that thought of her like a little daughter. But then guess what? He fired her ass. And just to make her pay for firing her, because guess what? After he fired her, the backlash came in, and Vince said, that little bitch made me trouble. You know what? Somebody talked to Zelina Vega. Oh, wait. She wants to come back on her own? Perfect. Because let her understand, we don't need her man. Let her sign, fire his ass. And guess what? That's what happened. And then Vince heard, hey, NXT is not working because I told Paul he had to make some money for me. Destroy AEW. Show that this little t-shirt thing is stupid. He didn't win, so you know what? I'm taking over NXT and I'm getting rid of everybody there. And the people that have not been on TV, I'm going to mold them the way I want. And guess what? Almost everybody now in NXT that was relevant by a Paul Levesque, Triple H, gone. Almost gone. Except for a few people who are minor that was still just starting up. Vince is now having them trained the way he wants. And Hit Row. This leads right back to the people lost. Hit Row is the last thing that Triple H, Paul Levesque had before his heart problem and had to leave. Or a genetic defect with his heart, which JD believes that Vince made him have a heart attack. But clearly it doesn't matter because He went away to take care of himself because his heart was messed up. Vince saw them, and instead of just releasing them and then making it sure that their contract states 30 days to be released. No, Vince or Bruce Pritchard said, hey Vince, why don't we bring up Hit Row? Let them have a contract, and just to make sure, like Malachi Black, in other words, Aleister Black, who had a really strong viewing debut, let's make it a 3-month thing for them. Let's make sure they can't get anywhere. Yes, Hit Row could get hot if we let them leave within 30 days and they go somewhere else. Make them wait 3 months. And he says, bring those kids up, but I want one of them gone first. And he releases one, waits a couple of weeks, and then releases all of them. And now they got to wait 3 months because their guaranteed contract says 3 months you got to wait. 3 months. So Hit Row, who was highly popular on NXT, the original, has to wait 3 months. November into December. December into January. January probably into February before they're seen. That's what you get. This is what the situation is. It's not that let me make this clear. I still don't watch the product of WWE. I only do the pay-per-views. You know that. And very rarely do I check unless someone says there's something interesting there. Because something happened. You got people, instead of being treated correctly, are being treated like crap. You got people who are just beginning, and instead of just releasing them and trying to get somewhere without them having to be restricted, purposely brought into the main roster with a main roster contract and then released on purpose to be forced to wait 3 months before they can debut anywhere if they've been in the business for a while and if they're really popular. 3 months they have to wait cold. 3 months. And that's what's happening right now. And I'm sure many are going to say, who gives a fuck? Let them pay for it. They decide to sign with WWE, let them pay for it. You know why? I don't care. As long as they don't go into AEW and more WWE guys, who gives a damn? Well, you should care. Because it's not about WWE guys anymore. ROH had to close its doors. And at the end of this month, the beginning, I think around December 3rd, if I'm right, will be the last show that ROH is going to show. Unless it's the 30th. I can't remember. It's either the 3rd or the 30th. After that, there's still no ROH. Anything they've done will be because people are still somewhat contractually obligated, or by just promise to the ROH brand itself to do one more pay-per-view before they can't see them, and counting if they even come back. You got nearly 100 people already released into the wild of pro wrestling. No matter what anybody says, don't worry, they're going to get work. You really don't know the system. Tell them to look at this video. Tell them to think about what I just said, that if anyone has been released from ROH or WWE, who says they'll get work immediately? There's no guarantee they're going to get contracts. And if they get work, it will be by a appearance basis where they may not even get more than $100. They may get a couple hundred if they're lucky. And it's almost Thanksgiving. One more week. And within 30 days after that, it's Christmas into New Year's. What happened if they have no money? What happened if they were brand new into the business? Or better yet, some people who have been ROH, who had a constant paycheck, what happened if they have some type of debt? Think about it for a minute. Before they open their mouth, tell them, hey, look at this. And if they say, hey, you don't understand. These guys are going to be great. Tell them to look at this video. And tell them to dispute it. Because if you ask anyone in the wrestling business, what I just said, even in a very rudimentary way, because what I'm saying is a simplified version of it. I have no idea what type of politicking sometimes these promotions you have to go through. Look at Bobby Fish. He shouldn't even be where he is. Adam Cole made that request for him to be working with him. He got stroke. Tell me I'm wrong. But it's just me. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.